if I told you you could create the most dominant team in NFL history just by combining players that have one small thing in common? Their first name starts with J. A few months back, I made a video that highlighted how there seems to be a disproportionate number of great players in the NFL whose first name starts with J. Here's a look at the roster I ended up putting together for that video. And so this got me thinking, what if I took this roster with some minor adjustments and some extra depth and put it into a Madden franchise to see exactly what these guys could do on the field? Will they have the 1972 Miami Dolphins shaking in their boots? Considering the level of talent on this team, they just might. So we're gonna sim through an entire season and see exactly what we get out of the NFL's all J name team. Now, of course, the only logical pick for what team to build the NFL all J name team on is the Jacksonville Jaguars. So that's what we did, and let me take you guys through the depth chart here, and it is loaded, no surprise. We've got Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, and Jalen Hurts at quarterback. By the way, I did turn injuries off, so sorry Jalen Hurts, you're probably not gonna play this year. I debated not turning them off because obviously we have plenty of depth to survive any injuries, but also, you know, like if Justin Jefferson were to tear his ACL in this franchise, that would just kind of defeat some of the fun. So we've got these guys at quarterback. At running back, we've got Josh Jacobs, Joe Mixon, Jonathan Taylor, and Jamal Williams. In my original video, I picked Jonathan Taylor as my running back, and I would still pick him if I was making a real life franchise, but as far as Madden goes, I'm just gonna put the highest rated players as the starters. No actual fullbacks, so we've got Jamal Williams there. At wide receiver, now this is where it gets fun. We've got Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, Jacoby Myers, Jerry Jeudy, and Jordan Addison. And then Jamal Agnew down here, he's gonna be our kick returner. Now tight end is a little thin in terms of J names. I mentioned that in the other video I did about this, but we do have Jonnu Smith and Juwan Johnson, so it could be worse. I'll just go through the starters on the offensive line. We've got Jordan Mailata at left tackle. At left guard, we've got Joe Thuney. At center, we've got the man himself, potential sexiest man alive, Jason Kelce. At right guard, we've got Joel Bitonio. And at right tackle, we've got Jake Matthews. Now, I did move a couple of these guys from one side of the line to the other. It didn't affect their rating at all, and that's what I did in the last video too. Just made sense. At left end, we've got Josh Sweat. At right end, we've got Jeffrey Simmons. At defensive tackle, we've got Jonathan Allen, and then Javon Hargrave and Jalen Carter as depth. Left outside linebacker, we get to keep Josh Allen. Middle linebacker, we've got Juwan Bentley. Right outside linebacker, we've got Joey Bosa. Now, the corners are almost as loaded as the wide receivers are. We've got Jalen Ramsey, Jair Alexander, Jalen Johnson, James Bradbury, and J.C. Horn. And then at free safety, we are going with Jesse Bates with Javon Holland right behind him and Jimmy Ward as depth. At strong safety, I moved Justin Simmons over from free safety. Again, didn't really affect his rating, and he's just the better player. Then we've got Jordan Poyer behind him and Jamal Adams behind him. At kicker, of course, it's Justin Tucker. And at punter, as you just saw, we've got Johnny Hecker. Yeah, this team's stacked. Also, I do want to mention just how long it took me to put this team together. I haven't played Madden seriously in a few years, haven't really delved into franchise mode too much. I don't know when they removed the force trades feature, but I'm upset with whoever's decision that was. Because what I had to do to make this team was go in and change all of those players' positions to punter so it would lower their rating and then I could trade for them. I'm sure that's nothing new to a lot of you Madden heads out there who have tried to build super teams in franchise mode before, but to me, I was baffled, and it took way longer than I would have liked, but we got it done, so whatever. I also wanted to have John Harbaugh as my coach, another J name, just to kind of complete the picture, but I couldn't figure out how to do that and keep my team as the Jags, so congratulations, Doug Peterson, you get a loaded team. Go win the Super Bowl. Now, as you'll see here, I already simmed the preseason just to make sure everything was working as it should, and I'll be honest, that close call against the Cowboys did make me nervous. First preseason game, and we only win 34-28. That makes me a little sus for how the rest of the season goes. Truthfully, I figured this team would steamroll its way to an undefeated season and a Super Bowl championship, but based on that game alone, I don't know if that's going to be the case. Maybe we'll drop a few here and there, we'll see. But we did follow it up with a blowout win over the Lions and then a 2-score win over the Dolphins, so can't complain too much. But folks, without further ado, let's sim game 1 of the actual regular season and see what we get. Obviously, you see our team rating 95 overall, 95 on offense and defense. We should be dominating most of these teams, especially a team like the Colts, but we'll see. Let's see what we got. Okay, so the J squad is 1-0. Now let's see exactly how we managed to do that. 28-0 win over the Colts. Okay, that's a good start. Of course, Joe Burrow's our starter, went for 235 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, nothing crazy there. Josh Jacobs, though, ran all over the poor Colts. All right, 119 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's pretty good.
Huh?
I'm sorry. You mean to tell me that a team with Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Jalen Waddle, and many other very good wide receivers, our leading receiver for week 1 was Jonnu Smith? Are we the Atlanta Falcons? Did Arthur Smith sneak his way onto my coaching staff? Because I don't like that. That makes me very uncomfortable for the rest of the season. Whatever. I mean, look, at least Chase put together a good line as well. 9 for 85 and a touchdown. Jefferson 5 for 47 and a touchdown. That's good. Defensively, no sacks, no interceptions. This was just a dominant performance. Nothing flashy about it, but my defense just held strong. Oh my God, the Colts had 142 total yards of offense. All right, now we've got a real test going up against the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs. Let's see what the J-name team does against the defending Super Bowl champs. J Squad is 2-0. Ooh, we squeaked this one out though. 35-28 over the Chiefs. So Burrow, I mean, look, the volume of yardage wasn't there, but the passer rating 139.5, 184 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. That's not a bad day. He's just not lighting up the box score like you might think he would. Rushing, you've got Josh Jacobs, 19 carries for 72 yards, but Joe Mixon, ever the touchdown vulture, goes 10 for 33 and 2 touchdowns. And let's go to receiving. I swear to God if it's Jonnu Smith again. How is Jonnu Smith the best receiver on this team? 7 for 87 and 2 touchdowns. This guy's gonna win MVP at this rate. Relegating Jamar Chase to 2 for 32 and a touchdown. Jefferson 3 for 31. Waddle 3 for 22. What is going on? All right, defensively, Justin Simmons had an interception. Still no sacks on the season. All right, I just went in here just for the hell of it. Why did Justin Tucker get an extra point blocked? Guys, this sloppiness on special teams is not going to get it done. I don't know what we're doing. Whatever. We squeaked out this win against the Chiefs. I'll take it. Whatever it takes, I'll take it. All right, next up, we've got the 1-1 Houston Texans. Let's see what they've got. They're coming into Jacksonville to face this juggernaut J-name team. I don't know. We'll see. 3-0, baby. Never a doubt. See, now, these are the types of games I'm expecting. 42-14, just an absolute massacre. And here we go. This is what I expected to see from the receivers. Jamar Chase, 11 for 116 and a touchdown. Jefferson, 9 for 100 and a touchdown. Jonnu Smith still manages to find the end zone, but at least the receiving yards have taken a dip. And we finally get on the board with a couple sacks, 2 for Joey Bosa and 1 for Jonathan Allen. Okay. Guys, real quick, I gotta give a shout out to another J name who happens to be sponsoring this video, Jack Links. Today I've got their teriyaki beef jerky, but you could also try one of their many other flavors, including original, peppered, sweet and hot, or you could try one of their other products, including tender bites and beef sticks. Jack Links beef jerky is my go-to snack when editing a long video like the one you're watching right now. So if you're looking for a great snack that tastes good and is packed with protein, I really can't recommend it enough. Try Jack Links meat snacks today. All right, back to the video. Well, we are 3-0 heading into a game against Arthur Smith and the team that gave us Jonnu Smith, so I don't know, maybe Jonnu's going for a revenge game here. Still undefeated. I'll be honest, if we blew our undefeated streak to the Falcons, I was gonna be very upset. 24-13. Okay, I mean, look, I know the Falcons defense isn't bad. Well, I say that, we took Jesse Bates from them. Their defense should be pretty bad. Just another game with not a lot of passing yards. And another game with just stupid efficiency, though, from the quarterback. I guess this is just because we have such a good run game. If you can lean on a good run game, you're gonna do it. So Burrow, 189 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 picks. And then rushing, Josh Jacobs goes 18 for 111. And now we see Justin Jefferson getting firmly on track, 8 for 98 and 2 touchdowns. Juwan Johnson sneaking in a little touchdown here. Jonnu Smith coming back down to earth. We'll take those dubs. I mean, that margin of victory does not excite me, but whatever. That's a win is a win, folks. All right, now we've got the Buffalo Bills, who, as we know, do not have Josh Allen because he is currently our backup. Part of me is tempted to make Josh the starter for this game just for fun, but now we'll keep it going. I think Joe Burrow's like clearly the MVP favorite right now. Yeah, so Burrow is nowhere to be seen on the passing yards leaders. In fact, Matt Corral, okay. Burrow's replacement in Cincy apparently has 974 yards, has more than Burrow does. Burrow's all the way down here with 862, but if you sort by touchdowns, it's Joe Burrow. Like I said, just the efficiency is off the charts. So I'm assuming he's the MVP favorite right now. We got to leave him in. All right, let's see how the game against the Bills goes. And the J train keeps rolling. 35-10, good. That's what we like to see. So Joe Burrow, only 178 yards and 1 touchdown in this game. So where did all the scoring come from? Josh Jacobs got it. 25 for 103 and 3 touchdowns. Next up, we got the Colts again, who are now sitting at 1-4. Probably not going to go well for them.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Excuse me? The 1-4 Indianapolis Colts just ended our undefeated season in week 6. I don't even know what to say right now. That team doesn't even have Jonathan Taylor. How? 17-20, it wasn't even that close. And Burrow finally had a lot of passing yards. I guess that's the formula, is don't have a lot of passing yards. I mean, it's not a ton, but it's more than what we've seen. 2 turnovers, what are we doing? Anthony Richardson, 252 and a touchdown. What did he do running? Did he do anything running? Not really. Josh Jacobs, 13 for 34 and a touchdown. Let me go to just the Jags. What happened? Like, do you guys understand how talented this team is? Like, how top to bottom, there's not, I don't think, a single player rated lower than like an 84, and the vast majority are like 88, 89 and above, a bunch of 90s. How did this happen? How did we lose to the Colts? Well, I guess the undefeated dream is dead. Let's move on to the Saints. All right, we're back on track. We're 6-1. Probably still the best team in the league, I would hope. 21-17. How are we just eking out these wins? I don't understand. Like, why is this not the greatest football team Earth has ever seen? Okay, man, look, the dominance is certainly not there. I mean, it's been there in spurts. We've definitely had some blowout wins, but the fact that we lost to the Colts and now barely beat the Saints, it's very odd to me. Whatever, let's keep it moving. Pittsburgh Steelers, what do you got? Okay, so we did beat the Steelers. We are 7-1 heading into the bye. 21-9. Again, we haven't scored more than 21 points in 3 weeks. Burrow, 238, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Jacobs had another good game. Waddle, wow, 6 for 113 and a touchdown. Chase, 6 for 58. Jefferson, 4 for 33 and a touchdown. All right, now that it's our bye week, let's go ahead and just do a little check-in on all the stats. See where maybe we're lacking or what's causing these games to not be as big of blowouts as I would think they would be. So let's look at this. Offensive yards, we are 4th in the league. I mean, that's not bad, but like, why are we not first? Like, is Patrick Mahomes really that much of a cheat code? Don't answer that. And then defensively, we're 5th. I mean, again, I guess I'll take that, but like, I feel like we should be first in everything. Our turnover differential is good. Niners, relax. Let's see where our players stack up. So Burrow is now 8th in passing yards, which isn't terrible. Not leading the league in passing touchdowns anymore, though. Sam Howell is. Okay. Oh my goodness. Isaiah Pacheco has 13 rushing touchdowns. We are like 9 weeks into the season. Our boy Josh Jacobs is down here with 7. I mean, that's pretty good, but good God. And then Jacobs is 6th in rushing yards. I mean, I imagine he'd be higher up if we didn't have such a good number 2 like Mixon. Receiving, Tyreek Hill leading the league. That's no surprise. Calvin Ridley being number 2. I really wish that was the case for my fantasy team in real life, but I can't have nice things, I guess. Gotta scroll a little bit before we get to one of our guys. Justin Jefferson's down here with 539. Touchdown leaders, Christian Kirk on the Dolphins. We traded him away too. JSN, Drake London. Okay, now interception leaders. Okay, so this is funny. I cut Jelani Tavai in the final player cuts before I started recording because I had too many linebackers. And of course, he's one of the interception leaders playing linebacker. And then we don't really have anybody in the sack leader conversation either. I imagine we'll run into Bosa. Yeah, 4. Nothing special. So what I'm realizing is nobody on this team is really doing anything spectacular outside of, I guess, Burrow's like touchdown to interception ratio. And Jacobs is having a good year, but it's nothing like insane. Maybe this is just what happens when you have too much talent on one team. It just doesn't mesh well enough. I say that as we're sitting at 7-1, but nevertheless, let's see how the rest of the season plays out. Oh God, I did not mean to click this. Coach, you have to be happy heading into your bye week in first place. Any special plans? Team bonding retreat, stay grinding, self-scouting. Yeah, we're going bonding. We're bonding. We're going to Rancho Cucamonga or Cancun. I think those are 2 very different places. All right. Yeah, team bonding 101. Oh, we're too relaxed. Oh, no, we're too relaxed. Damn, if only we had literally all of the talent in the world to make up for it. Too relaxed. We're not the Clippers. All right, this is a big one. The 7-1 Jags versus the 7-1 Niners. Look, our ratings across the board are a good chunk better than the Niners, but I'm a little nervous about this one, so let's see what we get. 8-1, baby. All right, we took down the San Francisco 49ers. That makes me feel better about our team. 27-6 too. Okay, so again, not a ton of points offensively, but I'm pretty happy with that total. Defensively though, that is a hell of an effort against that team because we didn't poach any offensive players from the Niners. Like their running back's name is not Drishton McCaffrey, and I mean George Kittle, it's just that's not spelled with a J, even though it could be. So Burrow, his normal self, 231, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Jacobs, 23 for 76 and a touchdown. Looks like we got some good pressure here. Josh Sweat with a sack, Jeffrey Simmons with a sack, Jonathan Allen and Josh Allen combined for a sack. We love the J Allen brotherhood. This was a good game. Okay, this is good. Next up, we've got the Titans. Let's see how this one goes. These divisional games, apparently you never know what can happen. 45-10. Damn. Sorry, Titans. Joe Burrow, 172 yards and 4 touchdowns, no picks. Josh Jacobs, 113 and a touchdown. Mixon ran for a touchdown. Jefferson had 2 receiving. Waddle had 2 receiving. Jonnu Smith is still a person. Ooh, a lot of picks on defense. We love this. Javon Holland, Jesse Bates, and Jimmy Ward all coming away with picks in this one. Josh Sweat with 3 sacks. Bosa, 2. Jeffrey Simmons with 1. Man, this was just a defensive masterclass. Okay, we move. Heading into week 12. Man, the season just flies by, doesn't it? And the 10-1 Jaguars keep rolling. Maybe the Colts game was just a blip on the radar. I mean, there were other close games right after that, but hey, maybe that was just, the kick in the butt we needed. 45-6. Okay, we're getting on track now. Maybe this is because the players are progressing too. I do have it set to auto progress the players because I didn't want to do that. Oh my, Burrow, 311 and 6 touchdowns, no picks. Damn. Jalen Waddle, 7 for 126 and 4 touchdowns. That is not the player I thought was going to be at the forefront of that wild passing day from Joe. Damn. All right, the all-J name team is coming for you folks. You better be ready. All right, next up we got the 2-9 Bengals. I'm so sorry I took all your good players from you. Burrow, Chase, Mixon. I mean, that was a little rude of me, I'll be honest. And to no surprise, we are 11-1. 55-14. Okay. This is what I've been expecting. Like, these three scores are what I figured would be happening all season long, right? Burrow, 264, 5 touchdowns, no picks. Rushing, Jacobs had 3 touchdowns. And then receiving, Jonnu Smith back at it again, 8 for 84 and 2. Waddle, 6 for 78 and 2. Man, is Jalen Waddle the wide receiver 1 on this squad? Starting to look that way. Will the bullying and the massacre continue against the 5-7 Cleveland Browns? They do have Myles Garrett. Maybe he makes it a problem. Let's see. And apparently not a problem. 12-1 Jags roll on. And it's another massacre, 49-10. Joe Burrow, with no regard for human life, 319 yards, 5 touchdowns, and no picks. Josh Jacobs, 16 for 85. Jefferson taking back the crown receiving-wise, 9 for 105 and 2. But Jonnu Smith keeps it up, 8 for 93 and 1. 2 picks for Jalen Ramsey. Okay, so the Jags are officially on fire. If they weren't already on fire, they are officially on fire, and maybe we can ride this momentum to a Super Bowl. But first, we've got the 10-3 Ravens. No matter, 13-1. Although this one was a close game. Okay, I shouldn't be surprised here because the Ravens do still have a very talented roster. I mean, in real life, they are arguably the best team in the NFL right now. And it's not like I took Lamar. It's not like I took anybody significant on defense, I don't think. Lamar went for 163 and 2 touchdowns with no picks. Burrow only went for 208 with 1 touchdown and a pick. Rushing, we had, Jacobs, 22 for 106 and 3 touchdowns. Good game overall. Competitive game, but a good game. All right, next up, we've got the 9-5 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Interesting. 14-1 is just getting methodical at this point. A 31-0 shutout against the Bucs. Defensively, so we allowed 0 points. I imagine there's going to be some stuff in here. 2 sacks, 1 pick for Jalen Ramsey, and a forced fumble from Josh Sweat. I mean, it doesn't look like we had a ton here. Yeah, I guess it was just a bunch of 3-and-outs or just, midfield defensive stands. I don't know what it was. Yeah, I don't know. Just one of those games where it seems like the Jays were like, hey, we are better than you, and we're going to show it. All right, we are inching toward the playoffs here. We'll sim the final 2 games, and then we'll check in on the stats. First, we've got the 8-7 Panthers at home. Can they play spoiler? I mean, we should be undefeated here if it wasn't for the damn Colts, but can they play spoiler and hand us another L before we head into the playoffs? They cannot. 27-21 though. A very slim victory against what should be a pretty bad Panthers team. All right, well, we are 15-1. Let's play the final game of the regular season against the Tennessee Titans, 9-7. I believe we bodied the Titans last time we played them. And we finished the regular season at 16-1, dominating the division by 7 games. Let's see how this game went. So 31-7. Jamar Chase, 7 for 103. Waddle, 3 for 82 and a touchdown. Jonnu Smith, 3 for 41 and 2 touchdowns. All right, now that the regular season's over, let's go in and see who actually led our team in all these statistics, because I'm very worried about how high up Jonnu Smith is going to be. So Joe Burrow finishes with 3,976 passing yards, 49 touchdowns, and 5 picks. This is insane, that touchdown to interception ratio. The yardage is super low, but I mean, again, that's not surprising given how many games we saw him under 200 passing yards. I imagine he's still going to win MVP because of this, though. Rushing leaders, we've got Josh Jacobs with 1,341 yards and 18 rushing touchdowns. Okay, he finished with a nice little chunk there. And then receiving, look how evenly distributed this is amongst our top 4 pass catchers. And this is what I meant about Jonnu Smith. He's not far behind Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase in terms of receiving yards or receiving touchdowns. Who would have thought this team wouldn't have a single 1,000-yard receiver on it? But I mean, hey, if you had any of these guys in fantasy, I still don't think you'd be upset considering the touchdown totals for all of them. They all had at least 9. Very interesting to see. And then let's check defensively who led us in sacks. So Bosa had 13 sacks, Josh Sweat had 11.5. Interceptions, Ramsey racked up 6, Justin Simmons with 4. I'm sure you guys want to see what happened around the rest of the league this year. So our passing yard leader is Patrick Mahomes, 4,898. Jordan Love, 4th with 4,072. Burrow ended up climbing up, decently well. I'll go to touchdown leaders. So Burrow, and then Trevor Lawrence with 42 touchdowns and 10 picks on the Buffalo Bills. Dak Prescott with a good year. Pat Mahomes again. Geno Smith capturing the magic. All right, rushing-wise, we've got Aaron Jones as the rushing leader, 1,631. Josh Jacobs down here, solid season for him, but nothing insane. Rushing touchdown leaders, Josh Jacobs ended up finishing 2nd. Pacheco at 22 is still wild. I mean, 22 touchdowns, just... Sure, man, go off. Tony Pollard with 15. Yeah, that's a pipe dream for those of you with him in fantasy this year. Alexander Mattison is buns. I don't know how this happened. Receiving leaders, we've got Amon-Ra St. Brown as the NFL's receiving leader, 1,434 yards, 16 touchdowns. Damn, he lead the league in that too? He did. Okay, wow. Good year for Amon-Ra St. Brown. What is Michael Gallup doing here? Like, I didn't take CeeDee Lamb from this team. It doesn't make sense why Michael Gallup is going off like this, but sure. Romeo Doubs, Marquez Valdez, All right, I'm done with the receiving leaders. Defensively, oh my, Micah Parsons. 20 sacks on the year, followed by Max Crosby, Aaron Donald, DeMarcus Lawrence. And then picks, nothing crazy for the interception leaders. Travarius Ward with 7, then our boy Jalen Ramsey's right here with 6. But all right, there you have it. A quick look around the league at the end of the year. But I think it's that time. Let's get into the playoffs and see if we can finish this thing. Can the NFL's all-J name team take home the Lombardi? Let's get to it. We are on a bye, so we're gonna have to wait till next week. So we've got the 11-6 Buffalo Bills, who I believe do have Trevor Lawrence as their quarterback. Let's see how it goes. Woo, okay, we have advanced to the AFC Championship game. Let's see how close of a game it was. 21-7, all right, pretty low-scoring affair, but our defense did its job. Joe Burrow doing very Joe Burrow things, low yardage. Jacobs 20 for 106 and a touchdown. Jalen Waddle 5 for 66. Man, this was just a not super exciting game. Now we move on to face the Chiefs again, who we did face and defeat earlier in the season. If you'll remember, that game was a barn burner, 35-28. So what does the encore have in store for us? Will we fall victim to the Pat Mahomes magic? Will the refs rob this from us? Let's see. And it appears we have once again defeated the Chiefs by the exact same score, 35-28. Man, Pat Mahomes cooked us a little bit, at least in terms of yards. I mean, 302, 1 touchdown, but he did throw that pick. Burrow, 199 and 1 touchdown, just continues his low volume passing efficiency. Jacobs, 16 for 76, no touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco added another touchdown. Mixon, though, plunging in the end zone twice. And Jonathan Taylor even got in. He's showing up late in the year. Love it. Okay, so a 35-28 victory over the Kansas City Chiefs to send our Jacksonville Jaguars NFL All-J name team to the Super Bowl. So we've got the Super Bowl against the 15-2 Dallas Cowboys, a team that we did not face in the regular season, but I did mention to you guys we did face them in the preseason, and we squeaked out this victory 34-28. So we could have quite the game on our hands here, but nothing left to it but to do it. Let's sim this Super Bowl and see if we can pull this off. Can the All-J name team finish the job with only one rogue loss against the Colts, marring our season? Can we finish it off with a Lombardi? Let's go. That's how we do it, baby. 35-28, taking down the Dallas Cowboys. We don't have to listen to their fans brag about a Super Bowl because they don't have one still since the 90s. The NFL All-J name team making sure it stays that way. Vintage Joe Burrow, 206 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, as he does. Josh Jacobs, 24 for 103. Joe Mixon, 14 for 77 and a touchdown. That two-headed monster at running back just continues to dominate. Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase each had 2 touchdowns. That LSU connection proving to be very valuable here on the All-J name team. Defensively, what a surprise. Micah Parsons had a sack. And then not much else to speak of defensively, just a good offensive game. I mean, that's a hell of a score for a Super Bowl. Was it 35-28? Like, that's exactly what you want out of your Super Bowl. So shout out to the NFL All-J name team, baby. We came through. We showed that the letter J is simply superior in the NFL. Let's check out our 2023 season recap to see who's winning all this stuff. So the MVP was Joe Burrow. Coach of the year was Doug Peterson. Offensive player of the year, Isaiah Pacheco. I mean, he had about 45 touchdowns, so I'm not surprised. Defensive player of the year, Aaron Donald. Little surprising considering Parsons led in sacks, although he wasn't far ahead of Donald. Offensive rookie of the year, Rashee Rice. And defensive rookie of the year, Tyree Wilson on the Raiders. All right, but there you have it. The question's been answered. Just how dominant would the NFL All-J name team be if you put it together? The answer, very dominant outside of a rogue loss to the Colts toward the beginning of the season. Maybe it was a character building game. I don't know. I still feel like we should have given the 72 Dolphins a little bit more of a scare, since clearly this team had the talent and skill to win literally every game. They just chose not to, but whatever. Guys, let me know if you want to see more content like this from me in the future. Obviously, this is the first Madden video I've ever done, so I could really use your feedback. Let me know what you liked, didn't like, and do you want to see more of the NFL All-J name team? See what they could do in future seasons, maybe. Maybe we only draft guys whose names start with J. Or do you want to see more Madden content, but with different teams and different concepts? I'm open to anything, so let me know. And of course, be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.